was just doing my homework, how many verses exist in the Bible regarding the fasting, and how many verses in Torah. Numerous. I can't really cite them. My esteemed colleagues already mentioned. But what I found out, I was sitting there and listening, there are such a common ground that we all share. For example, in Bible, fasting shouldn't be made a subject of display. So you are humbling yourself. And should be unto God Almighty. And I'm just reading the headlines that for chastening of the soul and for humbling of the soul. I mean, it's a kind of, an exercise. And in the Torah also, returning the sustaining presence of God, abstaining from food, to humble oneself before God. It's just a spiritual training and a spiritual workshop. We scientists have a workshop every year. We go to the different laboratories and different symposiums, and they have a workshop. So we train them, we refresh our knowledges and learning the new techniques. So the Ramadan is one of a kind of workshop. For a month, sometimes 30 days, sometimes 29 days, because we follow those of the lunar calendar. And this set time, we are really working on ourselves and then making ourselves a better person and betterment our relationship with God Almighty. In Quran, Allah, God Almighty, says that Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was sent down as a guide to mankind. I just wanted to draw your attention. It doesn't say that guide to Arabs or others. Guide to mankind, very universal. And a clear guidance and judgment so that mankind will distinguish from right and wrong. So we have a freedom of choice. This is right and this is wrong. So during the Ramadan, when the Quran or the scriptures descended, revealed, it is just helping us to distinguish what is right and what is wrong. Another verse, O you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you. Those before you means that the Jewish and then Christian traditions, that's what I'm referring to. That you many learn piety and righteousness. As a matter of fact, it is going beyond the Judaism and the Christianity. Fasting is always exists when the first man was existing in the world, in a different form. In other words, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, that you may attain taqwa. Taqwa is a piety. You become a more pious person. Another verse, the most honored by Allah, God Almighty, amongst you are those best in taqwa. I don't have any superiority over any human fellow being. By race, by color, by education, by look, and by power, money, name, fame. We are as equal as the tooth of the comb. But the difference is the piety. If I'm more pious, then I make difference. So another verse, and it is better for you that you fast, if you only know. I'm a biomedical scientist. 25 years ago, we made studies. The beginning of the Ramadan, we collect the blood samples and urine samples from the volunteers. Collect them. And 1/3 of the Ramadan, we also collect the samples. And then at the end of the Ramadan, we collect the samples. And we analyze all the biochemical parameters, what we can see. And we have seen that nothing has changed for the important things like proteins, that very important, and enzymes for liver, very important. But what has changed, toxic things has changed. Cholesterol dropped down very dramatically. Everybody hates the cholesterol. Actually, we need the cholesterol. We need the cholesterol just right. And the total fat in the blood, really dramatically changed. Uric acid, for example, that is the one of the underlying mechanism of the gout disease, the uric acid crystal, it's dramatic. All the toxic materials change. So it's a really cleansing of the physically and spiritual. We published this one, and then people are referring to this, and they also follow up later. And my US academic studies, we study the aging and molecular biology of the aging. We can't stop the aging, but we can provide happy aging. What we find out, eat less, live longer. That's true. Eat less, live longer. They did the studies for the rats, and they reduced 25% of the daily diet. Rats live 50% longer. So the friend of mine in the NIH, now who is doing this experiment on himself, he's probably 68 years old. I'm not kidding you. If he's here, Dr. Madsen and Cancer is at 55. It's such an incredible change. So the fasting is, this verse is making the real sense. And it's better for you that you fast, if you only do. So the fasting, my esteemed colleague mentioned already food and then eating, but in Islam, there is one more addition. For example, for the adults, that eating and drinking, and of course the smoking is not, but it's also a kind of another enjoyment. Also having the intimacy during the day. Because we are human beings, kids are here, so I'm just censoring my words. Okay? All right. So that's why. So because we are a human being, we have two parts, right? We are human being as a human being, but we are also biologically belongs to the animal groups. What animal does? They eat, they drink, and they propagate. So we do the same thing, but we are doing it more excessively, and then they do in season. So that's why that there are seasons that that's the mating time. So in Islam, human being was pretty much enslaved by two desires: eating and then drinking together, and the intimacy, propagation, disseminating our seeds. So therefore, these two things, when we put the break, and I'll be more spiritual. I'll be more spiritual. And then I will notice that I really own nothing by myself. Foods are here, I can't touch. I can't because the time has not come yet. I can't touch. What made me really refrain from the touching food? I can do it, right? I can do it. I can drink it and go and eat it up, but I can't. Because my Lord said that it is better for you that if you fast, if you only I do. In Islamic tradition, deeds have certain credits. For example, if you give a charity, you will get this. If you go to, for example, Mecca, Hajj, you will get that. If you read the Quran, you will earn such and such. But for the fasting, it is not mentioned because the God Almighty said that it is up to me. I will reward you. I will reward you as I do. So the eating and drinking and smoking and then having the intimacy is prohibited during the daytime. As soon as the sun sets down, we break our fasting and life turns normal. I have a very good colleague. He is a Catholic and he's a very funny man. He's from Boston. I don't know whether it's the Bostonians are always like that. He said, Dr. Akbar, I can't be a Muslim. Okay, because I understand about the eating and the drinking, but the other part, because I can't. I think they have a misconception. That is for daytime. After the sun is setting down, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Oh, thank you very much for really, you really removed my misconception about that. It's just a joking, but trying to yes. Well, is that it? Only eating and drinking and not missing? No, it is not. Because if I am going to come close to God Almighty, I am a physical person. And God Almighty is not a physical person. He is not that person. Okay. We say He. It's not that because of the gender, because in Arabic language has it's a gender-oriented language, has a male and a female elements. So the he or huwa is a masculine word, so that's why we say he in the Christian clauses. So I'm a materialistic person, right? But I have also soul, which is not material. So how come that I can become close to God Almighty, that my belly is full, and then I have always 4 or 5 meals every day, and then satisfying my desires by any means I can. So this is the season that I should come close to God. Not only eating and then drinking, not having intimacy, but protecting my eye, protecting my hand from harming somebody, anybody, including the animals, and protecting my tongue, not to lie, not to gossip, not to backbite, not to slander, not to curse, not to say any bad word, hurt anybody. So that my tongue also should keep fasting. My ears also should keep fasting. No ear wheezing, no listening to the unlawful things. It's a total fasting period, physically and spiritually. So at the end of the months, and we have a big celebration. The celebration traditionally is a really lots of the foods and all those things, but deep inside actually we should understand how much I am dependent on my. If I don't know the taste of the hunger, I can't hear the cry of the Somalian kids, Ugandan kids, Ethiopian kids. You know that in East Africa, or there's a big famine. There's a big famine. Last 3 months, I don't know, maybe 30,000, 40,000 kids were dying. The mom cannot help. The kids are dying because of hunger. It's a shame on humanity that we put too much money for the defense, for nonsense reasons, and then people are dying because of the hunger. If I don't know what the hunger means, I don't hear them. I don't understand the homeless people in the street of the Lawrence, that they shame themselves that asking the money, but by their looking, by their walking, they are hungry. But if my belly is full, I can't understand. I can't hear it. So the Ramadan is giving the opportunity for us to taste the taste of the hunger, to share the resources. In Islamic tradition, it is highly recommended that to break the bread with the others, not eat and dig in alone. Share your breads with the others. Break the bread with the others. So therefore, in Ramadan, we tend to invite our neighbors, Muslim, non-Muslim, not a problem. Okay, come and then break the bread with us, and then they're happily coming and sharing with us. So that is the Ramadan, and also the Ramadan giving us a more opportunity to share our wealth with the others. For example, we have alms, what's called the zakah. It's not a charity, it's not a sadaqah. It is a prescribed percent, that the 2.5% of my dead money, that the money that's under the mattress, that money that I am not using, should be given away to the poor and the needy, starting from your inner circle to outside. For example, if my brother is needy, so I should just give to him. All right. So it is a really 4x4 fasting, I should say. 4x4 fasting, totally and spiritually. That at the end we feel good. That I did this year. I'm happy for the Ramadan. I don't know whether I will have the next Ramadan next year. I don't know, because it's not in our hand whether we live that longer. So we try to share our happiness and our practices with you, and then the good food, and then hopefully from this kind of different perspectives of the Abrahamic religion. That's our forefather. That's our forefather. So we are cousins actually. So these are from the Isaac lineage, and we are from the Ishmael lineage. So they are cousins. So we don't need, we have a lot of the common points. I just decided they eloquently mentioned the the verses from Torah, verses from the Bible. So we have the same tradition. The practice might be different. That's okay. It's important. What's important? It's an intention. What's the intention? Is your sincerity and your piety, and then also we are exercising how to be patient. The normal time, I'm coming home, my wife is also working, she's also a neuroscientist. So I'm a kind of Turkish man that I want the food ready in time. Okay, so out of the Ramadan, so sometimes you have a clash. Why the food is not ready in time? Well, okay, I'm working, you help me for this and that. But in Ramadan, we don't. Even the 1 minute you are really hungry and thirsty, you just wait until the sun sets down, and then you break the fast and you thank God Almighty that we have a bread on the table. I'm really lucky. I have a food. People who are fasting and they don't. They don't. Maybe they will just get a sip of water and then that's it. I just wanted to share one of my childhood memory. Here is the Ramadan, and my father, may God Almighty bless his soul, he passed away. So he was a very impatient person, especially for the food. So it's winter time, so we just gather around the table, and my mom was an excellent cook, everything is ready, and so now the door is knocking, knock, knock. Who is there? A person who is cold and old, and then he's asking, I need a piece of morsel that I would like to break my fast. And my father was, what is this? And invasion of the privacy and blah, 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 blah. And my mother said that, you just keep quiet, okay? You never know who is here. Maybe Allah, God Almighty, is testing us. You don't know. You see that it's a kind of old and cold man outside, right? You don't know. And then he came inside, and then it was a very emotional thing. I was all just crying about all those things. So, it's a nice feeling that you share what you have. So now we are going to share what we have here.